Hi everyone, welcome back to Crafting at Whimsy Wonderland. My name is Stacy. I decided to go ahead and take a break from my craft room organization project to do a little fall crafting now that I have some fall supplies. If you saw on my last haul, I got some really cool things. But what I was going to do is use these tumbling tower blocks. This is a package of 72. This is one of the value pack ones. It's taller. It's twice as many as the normal size pack. You usually only get 36, but lately they've had these 72 counts, which makes it a good deal. Now what I wanted to find was the wooden cubes that the Dollar Tree sells, but my Dollar Tree has been out of all of the wood stuff lately, and so I'm going to make my own wooden cubes using the Dollar Tree tumbling tower blocks. So what I did is I took the entire package of 72 and I glued them all into squares of 3, and I'm going to end up having 4 squares left over, so you don't need to use 12 of them. You only need 60, and I'm going to glue them together to make my own cubes. Okay, now you can glue them. I did every other one so that if it falls it has a better chance of not breaking apart. Also because I'd like to make these into pumpkins, and I think the different stripes on it kind of add to the look of the fact that I'm trying to get it to look like a pumpkin. So I have 5 squares glued, 3 on 3, and I'm using the super glue wood glue from the Dollar Tree. This is my favorite wood glue. I like it better than Gorilla Glue, and it's pretty inexpensive, and I can get it in a small tube at the Dollar Tree for $1, and I am able to use up that smaller bottle of it before it goes bad and dries up. That was my biggest thing with the Gorilla Glue ones, is that they always dried up on me. Now I'm having a problem here. This one particular square is a lot smaller. When you're using Dollar Tree items, they're not exactly the same size, so if you run into that, just switch it out. So I have these extra ones sitting over here, so I'm able to sub it out. So I'm gluing the 2 layers together, and I'm going to squeeze really hard and push down and try to make it as level as I can. I'm using a generous amount of glue, and then I just kind of wipe it over the top. It kind of smears it around a little bit, and then I'm going every other one. If you wanted to, let me see if I can show you with this one. If you wanted to stack them this way, you could, but I'm afraid if it got dropped that they would bust apart a lot easier than staggering them like that. So you would have all your cut-ins on one side, and then you would just have more of a flat side. But I don't know, I just liked it better the other way. I think this way gives it more dimension. It's up to you. That's a personal preference, and you do whichever way you like best. Okay, once I have all 5 together, and while the glue is still soft, I'm going to squeeze as hard as I can and go ahead and wipe that extra glue back down into the cracks. It'll help seal it up. And then just kind of hold it for a minute, squeezing it as hard as you can, or if you have a clamp, that would work too. You just want to make sure that you've got good contact with all of your bricks. Okay, then you're going to let that dry, and you'll need to do a light sanding on it if you would like, or you could just let it be. But if you're going to sand it, you probably want to let it dry good and solid. These just feel wet. There's a lot of glue in there. Okay, and I think these are going to make really cool looking pumpkins. Alright, so we're going to let those dry for a few minutes, and I will be back. Alright, once your blocks are dry, you're going to want to paint them. And I'm going to choose to paint 2 of them with a pumpkin colored Waverly chalk paint. Now, it makes me sad that Walmart is not carrying Waverly, at least mine's not anymore. I've seen some people say that Their Walmart is still carrying it, but mine is not. So makes me a little sad because my Waverly is going away. I'm about used a lot of it up. I'm going to put a little water into it because it's really dried up. Just going to put the lid on it. It's not like, it's just getting, it needs thinned. Just going to put some water in and shake it up. I'm okay if this thins it out a little too much because I kind of would prefer it to be more of a stain. So I'm going to go ahead and paint all of my edges. I realize I'm not letting it dry before I flip it around, and that's okay. And I go ahead and just kind of wipe the wet paint off of my mat. These are, oh, how do I say it? Window cling sticker papers. They work great for painting drop cloths. I do a lot of decoupaging at Christmas time with the window clings, and so I always save the backers because those are handy. This is going to be Waverly Chalk Paint color Celery. Alright, I'm going to paint one block. Whoops, not using the orange brush. One block in the color Celery. And you choose whatever fall colors go with your decor when you're choosing your colors for this. I just really like this sagey kind of bluish green color that's popular for fall right now. Okay, so I'm going to let that one dry. I go through a lot of baby wipes, but they're only $1, so. And the last one I'm going to do is kind of a tan color. It's mineral colored chalk paint from Waverly. It's like a grayish, tannish gray, grayish tan, whichever way you want to say it. And my last block will be that color. Now that just needs to dry, and once those are dry, we'll take it and decorate them up. Okay, these have had time to dry, and I do have my glue gun heating up right now, so if you don't have yours heating up, get it going. Now I want to put the letters to spell out fall on the side of these blocks, and my original thought was to use these letters from the poster section, but they would fit on exactly edge to edge, and that's just too big in my opinion. So here's a couple other options for you. Dollar Tree has these rub-on transfers. They're hard to find. You really usually have to dig for them, and they're just like block typecast letters, and those would fit on there nicely. There's also this set of rub-on transfers that has the whole alphabet, but your letters would all be a different size except for the L, because there's only one of each one on here, so you would end up with both of your L's being the same size. Then I got these on clearance at Michael's. Doesn't say how big they are, but they would also be good, except for these are silver. I don't have any black ones, so I could paint them and those would fit nicely on there. Okay. Oh, I also want to say, if you have those wooden cubes from the Dollar Tree, I think these will work, but because these are just a little bit smaller. So, and then I have these, and these are dimensional stickers I got Heck, I don't even know where I got them, to tell you the truth. Some clearance sale or something, I don't know. So I thought these looked fun, and I was deciding to use these. I've got an F, an A, and L's are down here. Yep, so that's what I'm going to do. This is called Thickers brand. I don't know if they came from Hobby Lobby, Michael's, or Joann's. I might even have gotten these at the Scrapbook Warehouse clearance that we had going on for a while. So decide what order you want your blocks to go in. Find the smoothest side of your block. And make sure they're all facing the same way, because they're a little taller one direction than they are the other. And you can choose to either put your sticker on the side that has all of the texture, or you can put it on the smoother side. Totally up to you. I'm going to put it on the textured side. So I'm going to pull off the F, and I'm going to center that in my block. And I do have some hot glue going if I need to hot glue it. Now the letters are all the same size, but some of them are capitals and some of them are lowercase. And I'm okay with that. I think that makes it more fun. So right now I've got F, A. Oop, that didn't come off. L. Okay, so there's how I'm spelling out fall. And then, making sure those are down. You can glue these down if you need to. It's totally okay. I'm going to turn these into pumpkins, and for my stems, you can use these wooden sticks that you get at the Dollar Tree. You can get a stick from your yard. You could do a lot of different things, but I'm going to, since it's a square pumpkin, I'm going to do a square stem. And I think that'll be really cute. So you get these in the bag at the Crafter Square section at Dollar Tree. This is Antique Wax, also by Waverly. And I'm just going to use a little bit. I'm just going to brush it on. I am not going to brush it on the side that I am going to glue. Hot glue has a hard time sticking to this Waverly wax sometimes, in my experience. So I'm going to keep it off of that edge. So I'm just going to paint 4 of the sides right now. I just kind of want this to look like a stain, not a total coat of paint. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and glue them on, even though they're still a little bit wet. And this I'm going to go ahead and use hot glue for. Glue that down in the center. And then I'll go ahead and touch the tops with the paint, the Waverly wax. Okay. They're getting cuter by the minute. Alright, I'm going to pause and let these dry for a few minutes, and I'll be back. Okay, my next step is I took a spool of this Dollar Tree ribbon with the buffalo check, and I tied 4 little bows, tried to make all the bows about the same size, and I'm going to put a little dot of glue right in front of my stem and press that little guy on there. Okay, so that's my L. Now you could also choose to do raffia. You could do jute twine. You could take little wires and make little tendrils if that's what you wanted. Okay, there's lots of different options that will work. You just need to do what feels good to you. Then I have one of these old thankful signs. I got this a couple years ago, but they do have them this year as well, and they have different colors here. So what I was trying to do is coordinate my ribbon to the edge of my sign. And I'm going to use this as my base, and I'm not even going to paint it out because I like these little pumpkins on the side here. And the sign just happens to be the same width as the little pumpkin squares. Okay, so I'm going to glue them on to this base, and this base will give me the opportunity to move it around without having to move every single one and reset it each time. So I'm going to push it down, and I'm using the buffalo plaid as my guide. Okay. That looks about centered. Leaves me 2 stripes and 2 stripes. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and glue the end one down. That's just how I roll when I'm trying to get something centered. I'll glue the ends first. Okay, let that glue cool for just a moment. My L's are a little closer together than they really should be, but the glue's set, so we're going with it. Now I'm going to get out some moss, and quick hat tip, if you have these plastic ice cream buckets, they work great to store your moss in. And if you want your moss to smell better, open it up into your container and put some cinnamon sticks or something in there. Now, I wish I had some of the other kind of moss that was more brown. So I'm going to put some glue, and it's very hard to get inside of here, so I'm going from both directions. And I'm going to need a poking device to get it down in there. Okay, so I'm just packing some moss onto the stand there. Okay, it's going to give it a little bit of texture. Now, I've got this all on here, and I think it's looking really cute, but I'm thinking the word blessings right here would be really cute as well. I'm going to use the same letters that I had before, and I like to use a ruler when I'm doing this. And I'm going to just kind of line my ruler up here, and I'm going to take my letters off. B-L-E-S-S-I-N-G-S. So it's 9 letters in these. So I just kind of stick them onto the edge of my ruler so that I can get the spacing down, and then I can transfer it to my piece. So check your spacing. Okay, and then you can turn this up this way, and you can check your spacing this way. Oh, blessings. I think that's really cute. Okay. Then if you wanted to add feet, you could glue some little cubes in here, but these are not glued in evenly, so it would throw that off, so I'm not going to worry about that. But putting that moss down inside has covered up any of the writing that was on the sign. And now I just have a cute little shelf sitter that I think is going to look really cute in my fall decor. Alright, there you have it, my fall blessings Dollar Tree DIY. Everything from this project is from the Dollar Tree except for the letters, which I got at Michael's. Dollar Tree does have letters, the ones I had from there were either too big or too small. If you were using the Dollar Tree already made wooden cubes, I think the poster stickers would do you just fine. But these are a little smaller since I made them from Jenga blocks. You will need 15 tumbling tower blocks for each pumpkin, so that means you need 60 total. So one package of the value pack size of the tumbling tower blocks would work, or 2 packages of the smaller ones. The blocks are the same size, it's just the size of the package is different. And then you'll need a package of the wooden cubes for the stems. You'll need a roll of ribbon to put your little bows on, and you want that ribbon to coordinate with whatever print you have here on your base. They have several different fall prints out this year. They have, I think there's one that's got wheat, there's one that's plaid and orange and white plaid. I think there was a greenish one. So choose what goes with your colors and your decor and do that one. And then also on your paint colors, choose the colors that go with your decor. This goes with mine, so this is what I like, and I like the fact that the letters are whimsical. So if you like the whimsical letters, go to Michael's and get yourself something like that. And these are cardboard letters, so they're a little bit dimensional and stand up off of the piece so that they pop. Alright, let me know what you're thinking about this project in the comment section below. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. Let me know what colors you might do for yours. I think white with that really dusty blue would be really pretty. Anyway, let me know what you're planning on for yours, and if this is a project you will do. And would you prefer it done with a solid wood cube, or do you like the rustic look of having the little lines in here from the blocks? You could also distress these a little bit with sandpaper and maybe a little bit of brown antique wax around the edges. That would be cute too. You could also highlight each of the lines and make it look more like the seams of a pumpkin. So let me know what you're thinking, and it's good to be back, and hopefully there'll be some more fresh content coming for you soon. This has been Crafting at Whimsy Wonderland. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you next time.